Most people would have a general idea of what the fastest muscle vehicles from the 1970s may be, and might imagine monster engine ponies and mid-sized cars, and they would mostly be true. A lot of people don't pay attention to the precise trim engine and gearbox choices though. In this video, we take a look at 10 of the fastest original 1970s muscle cars, focusing on their 0 to 60 mph timings. We've also included the original purchase price as well as the current market value to whet your curiosity. So let's take a trip down Vintage Car Mile to reminisce about some of the most iconic muscle cars from the early 1970s. Chrysler's response to the Mustang and entrance into the pony car market was the aggressive and powerful Dodge Challenge RT. It had a beautiful design and a variety of V8 engine options, including 383 cubic inch, 426 cubic inch, and 440 cubic inch displacement. 426 with a 4-speed manual transmission was the wild card for your Challenger RT. In this arrangement, the car would accelerate from 0 to 60 mph in under 5.4 seconds. In 1970s, how much did a Challenger RT Hemi cost? It's going to cost you about $4,500 to buy this. As an investment, if you purchased it and took good care of it, you could trade it for about $350,000 today. Skylark's 455 cubic inch engine produced 360 HP and 510 foot-pound of torque in 1970s when Buick tried to blend go fast and class with their mid-sized automobile. Finally, they came up with the Buick GS 455, which was very well equipped, comfortable, and fast. They added a Stage 1 option which made it even better. One could get a GSX if they wanted their GS to look more like a Chevelle SS or the GTO Judge. It was also speedy in the 0 to 60 sprint, clocking in at 5.5 seconds and the quarter mile clocking in at 13.38 seconds. The cost of this automobile at the dealership in 1970 was about $4,800. You could buy one of these for about $150,000 right now, which is a very good deal. People who bought a mid-sized Chevelle from Chevrolet in 1970s could now choose from a new engine. The 450 horsepower, 454 cubic inch large block Goliath. As soon as you saw the car, you knew it was powerful. When it came down to it, the LS6 could absolutely provide the goods. As long as it had an automatic 4-speed gearbox, the L6 Chevelle could sprint from 0 to 60 mph in under 5 seconds and complete a quarter-mile sprint in just under 13 seconds, all while looking fantastic in the process. This automobile cost roughly $4,500 in the 1970s. If you didn't receive one, don't worry. As long as the car is all original and has been restored, you can buy it at an auction for around $330,000. For the 1971 model year of the Firebird Trans Am, Pontiac thought that larger was better and added a 455 cubic inch beast to the engine lineup, which was available in both Trans Am grade levels and formula. To make the L65 even more powerful, Pontiac engineers added some parts from last year's GTOs. With a 4-speed transmission, it would be able to get up and go quickly. The time from 0 to 60 mph is 5.4 seconds, while the quarter mile takes 13.8 seconds. How much did it cost when it was brand new? The total cost would have been about $4,700. A 455 HO in showroom condition would cost almost $80,000 to place in your garage today. As a way for people who want to buy a car but don't want to spend a lot of money on their own charger, the Super Bee was developed by Dodge based on their Coronet model. It shared the Charger's and Roadrunner's basic form, but lacked the Charger's and Roadrunner's accessories. The engine options, on the other hand, were identical to those given by its Chrysler competitors. The Hemis had displacements of 383, 440, and 426 cubic inches. Because it had fewer onboard equipment and choices, it was lighter. The 426 Hemi engine produces 425 horsepower. A quarter-mile run in 13.5 seconds may be completed by the Super B in only 5.3 seconds. In 1970, a new automobile like this would have cost roughly $4,000. If you want to buy an immaculate and original Super B Hemi at auction today, it will set you back about $110,000. Its 454-inch aluminum head LS6 engine generated 425 horsepower. The ZR2 was a one-year-only option that improved the suspension, brakes, clutch, and radiator with an aluminum radiator. This whet seemed to be just like any other huge block version from the outside, with the 454 badge on the power bullet of the hood, but no indication of the LS6 or ZR2 model. It was fast though, 5.3 seconds to 60 miles per hour and 13.8 seconds to quarter mile. New in 1971, this car would have set you back about the price of 2 Malibu cars. If you want to buy it, you'll have to pay about $365,000. In the late 60s and the early 70s, the Mustang Boss 429 was a highly sought-after muscle car. Carcraft built just 1,358 of the 429s between 1969 and 1970. Ford's Special Car Development Center is in Brighton, Michigan. They don't have the same stripes as his Match 1 sibling. In 5.3 seconds, these low-key cars could go from a standstill to 60 miles per hour at a speed of 50 miles per hour. And then there's the quarter-mile run, which takes 13.7 seconds. This car cost roughly $5,000 when it was brand new in 1970s. An original example sells for between $200,000 and $350,000 at auction. For the 1970s model year, the GTO got a new polyurethane molded from fascia in order to separate itself from its Pontiac Inferno origins. When you drove the GTO, you were sure to be noticed. You might even be asked to join a spotlight drag race, if you wanted to give your goat a boost of energy. With the Ram Air 4 engine, you could get 370 horsepower. 0 to 60 miles per hour took 5.1 seconds, while the quarter mile took 13.6 seconds. People in the 1970s would have had to pay about $4,600 to get this kind of performance from Pontiac. Fast forward to today, and this beast will drain your bank account by roughly $100,000 for an all-original model. This is a one-of-a-kind situation. It's a 1973 model after all. 2 years following the pinnacle of the 1970 American muscle car horsepower year. First up on our list is the 1973 Trans M455 SD. To increase large block performance in this final real muscle car masterpiece, Pontiac engineers upgraded most of the basic 455 engine components. Apart from its attractive appearance, the 4-speed manual-equipped SD was also capable of getting up and going. When you go from 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds and do a quarter mile in 13.5 seconds, it's a great time. In 1973, a new version of this car cost roughly $5,000. Set aside around $100,000 today to bring one home. Unexpectedly, a muscle vehicle from the 1970s won the competition for the fastest muscle car. It wasn't a pony car since it lacked the Hemi and was not very popular, but it was based on the Chevy Chevelle. In this picture, you can see an El Camino SS with a 454 cubic inch LS6 engine. At Spotlight Sprint Duels, he was the one to beat and still reigns supreme. You can get from 0 to 60 in 5.0 seconds with the muscle car truck mashup. It can also go the quarter of a mile in 13.44 seconds. In the 1970s, your friend at the Chevrolet store would have billed you about $1,800 to buy one new. If you're fortunate enough to come across one of these nearly mythological creatures, to get it to your garage, you'd need to sell out around $115,000 in cash. Maybe that's a good deal for this really uncommon unicorn. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll know when we post new content. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. We hope you liked it.